for the very first time, I am an NBA awards voter, and I told you I was going to take this extremely seriously, which I did. I agonized over this. I talked to everyone I could think of over this, including Hembo and the Hembo of the NBA show, which is a guy named Matt Williams, who had to put up with me FaceTiming him 5 times the other night as I was trying to put my ballot together. And the ballots are due tonight. I have submitted my ballot. So I'm going to tell you right now who I voted for. I told you I would. There's no secrets here. I think all the ballots eventually get released anyway. But I'm not keeping any secrets from anybody here. I'm going to take you through my ballot right now on who I voted for. So let's start with, I'm not going to say the lesser awards, but certainly the ones that people are a little less probably focused on. Most improved player, I voted for Darius Garland. I thought he had just a sensational season. I think people have forgotten just how good that team was when everyone was healthy. They had some injuries. They would not have been in the play-in. That's a team that I think had everything, had they stayed healthy, they would have made a run at getting a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. And Garland was magnificent. I strongly considered Morant. If you look at the jump that Morant had from last year to this year, it actually does meet the criteria of most improved. But the further I thought about it, I thought that's just not what this award is meant to be. Like, this is not meant to be a superstar who just got better. It's meant to be a player who really emerged. That's how I interpreted the meaning of most improved. So they ask you for a first, second, and third pick. I picked Darius Garland 1, Desmond Bane, which is Morant's teammate in Memphis 2, and DeJounte Murray 3. Hembo, any issue with that pick?
None at all. Darius Garland had a ridiculous season, averaging 22 and 9 for a team that was top 4 for most of it. I'm with you. He jumped a tier, and that's why I sort of like your thinking there.
Nuno, as my VP of basketball, you have an issue with that pick?
No, you're good.
Okay, fair enough. Next is Defensive Player of the Year. This one I had a very hard time with because my initial inclination was to vote for Marcus Smart. I think that he is the most infuriating defender, and those tend to be the best defenders. But the more time I spent talking to a lot of the guys who understand the sport better than I do, the players themselves, the former guys that we have working here and coaches, and those that I called on the phone, they explained to me that there is an element of team defense that is involved there, that the Celtics team defensive philosophy plays heavily into that, and that the numbers, and I looked at them closely, actually trended towards Michael Bridges in Phoenix. And he also played 82 games this year, Bridges did, and I wanted to reward him for that. He guards every position on the floor. I think you could make an argument that this year he was actually the MVP of that team if you really look at them, and that's a team that has Devin Booker and Chris Paul on it. So I decided to give it to Bridges. He is my Defensive Player of the Year. So Mikal Bridges is 1, Marcus Smart is 2, Bam Adebayo is 3. Nuno, how do you feel about that?
It's slightly different. I mean, I might have gone Smart. Bam missed way too many games to actually win the award because if he missed 30 games. If he actually plays, only misses 15 or something, 10, I think he can win.
Same with Draymond Green. That was the thing. Draymond Green could have won that award also, but he also missed far too many games for me to consider him for it seriously. Mikal Bridges got my vote. Hembo, you got an issue.
I love it. I love you rewarding the player durability. I looked this up this morning. I looked at all 20-point-per-game scores in the NBA this season. They shot 36% when Mikal Bridges was their primary defender. The lowest mark by any defender in the NBA. I think you got this totally right.
Yeah, so I will tell you right now. The numbers, the analytics, which I like to use, they are, to quote a great man, they're not the be-all, end-all, but they tell a story. The analytics overwhelmingly favored Mikal Bridges. He had a magnificent defensive season, so he was my pick there. Rookie, the sixth man of the year was too easy. Tyler Hero is that. He's going to be unanimous. There was no one else to even consider. Rookie of the year, I hope Jalen's not listening because I put Cade Cunningham third, and he had a really good number. He had really good numbers. He had a very good year. It's not his fault. His team is terrible, but his team is terrible. And so the numbers he put up are a little emptier because they were done, for the most part, in meaningless circumstances than the two guys that I was choosing between, which are Scotty Barnes and Evan Mobley, and I ultimately put them in that order. Scotty Barnes had a terrific year in Toronto. He emerged as a really important piece of that team, and I wound up at the last minute changing my pick. I was leaning towards Mobley, who was also a very important player, and early this season I think would have been the easy winner of this. But he missed time, and we saw Barnes come in and come on strong. And so in the end, I went Scotty Barnes as my rookie of the year, followed by Mobley and Cade Cunningham. Thoughts?
I don't love your logic because you're penalizing Cade Cunningham for being a product of his circumstances. But I do think that it is fair to reward Scotty Barnes for being a rookie who averages 35 minutes on a team that wound up being the 5 seed. There's a lot of value in that too. And if you watch him play, obviously he's a total freak.
Well, that's what I thought to myself, am I trying to pick the most valuable rookie? Mm-hmm. That's sort of the way I analyze the award. If it was the most outstanding player award, and they don't describe it for you, it's just the rookie of the year. You can define it any way you want. But I thought I'm going to pick the rookie who I think was the most valuable to his team. And if Cade Cunningham had just blown him away, then maybe I would have. But the numbers aren't all that different. I mean, Scotty Barnes had a really good year, and so did Mobley.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.